You people are loco. Hello Internet and welcome to Fortnightly Frontier, the show that knows just as much about the best damn first-person universe ever, Star Citizen, as the media would have you believe. I am your host, Darionator. Over there in the first-class seats is my lovely assistant, Loose Unit, and this is episode 23.
First up, we have the Hyper News, where we'll give you a rundown of the latest news from the verse. Then we'll move on to Major Points, where tonight we talk about ship modularity and the future of stretch goals. At the end, we'll touch on something a little bit personal. I hope it's not me. I don't like being touched. But first, the Hyper News.
Stretch goals all over the place. The 63 million stretch goal was reached as expected in the last episode, and then on the back of the anniversary sale we went through the 64, 65 and 66 million dollar stretch goal. And I have only one comment on that. You people are loco.
Yeah. At $63 million, we got the Misk Reliant, a new starting ship with alien technology. At 64 million, we got pets. Apparently fish are not a traditional pet system.
I want a space corgi. At 65 million, we got enhanced ship modularity. More about that in Major Points, as it is quite a big one.
And this week you can test drive the Anvil Hornet, so I recommend you go and check that out if you are playing Arena Commander or haven't played in a while. It is a great ship.
There's still no news about the 1.0 patch, is there?
Not that I know of, other than it's being worked on.
And that is it for the Hyper News. Modular ships are coming. This aims to add enhanced customization of your ships, whereas before this was entirely internal and basically just a few bits of code would change here and there. Now you'll be able to swap out complete parts of ships. And I think this heralds an end to the way we consider ship variants and opens the door for mixing and matching of ship components. So say you want to buy a Constellation, but you don't really like any of the preset variants, so you get the basic Constellation and then the cockpit from the Aquila, the interior of the Phoenix, something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. It's starting with the Caterpillar, but they say that even some existing ships like the Avenger are maybe going to get this same treatment, and I wonder if that's what's holding it back. What do you think?
I hope they do. This is how I imagined it was originally going to be, and they've kind of pushed this out and said that's how it is going to be now. I mean, you know, like as an example, I would really like the Cutlass Blue variant, but I don't want the cells in the inside the Cutlass, because why would I'm not a bounty hunter. I don't want to use it for that. But until now, we haven't had a choice, really.
Also, the biggest changes when it came to the Avenger, that from the very beginning it was a two-seater learning ship, and then they upgraded it to PBI. It became a one-seater ship. Maybe that's something that's going to be modular, just, you know, the whole cockpit being replaced, one-seater, two-seater, something like that.
Yeah, potentially. There was a screenshot of what looked like a cockpit module for the Caterpillar, so it's possible that you'll be able to swap them out. I mean, in theory, you should be able to.
Yeah, I think that was the actual chassis of the ship onto which different ship parts bolt on. Like the cargo and the wings, the engine, thrusters, stuff like that.
Yep.
I'm very excited about this. This is going to be very useful for people who like to be very individual, I think. Like to show off their individualism in the universe.
Absolutely.
So it's not everybody just, you know, in 4 different variants of the Avenger. So you got, you know, someone with different shaped wings, bigger engine, maybe no cargo area, or, you know.
these stretch goals are no more, or at least that's how I've read this statement by Chris Roberts, which if you'll excuse me, I'm going to quote directly. Starting with $66 million, I want to start focusing everyone on the level of detail and immersion that everyone's support is enabling. So instead of always having a feature or a reward, I want to share a deeper view into an element of the design that has been enabled by your continuing support. That to me spells the end of this direct stretch goal type of thing. We may still get some rewards like 100 million, we all get the buggy or something, I don't know, but I think that we're not going to get ships, we're not going to get stuff like that anymore, because it already is a lot of stuff they have to build in this game. I don't think they want to be adding too much more to it.
Yeah, I think that kind of makes sense, since we're no longer in the whole early stages of development anymore, and there's already over 600,000 citizens. 600,000 backers. Can you believe that?
That's an awful lot of them, yeah.
Yeah, and it's no longer this niche project that can, I don't know, afford to reward the early backers, because it's become quite a public event already. Yeah, so. Yeah. And I think they also realized that as much as these stretch goals interest a lot of people, most money, or a lot of the money they get through sales of limited edition ships. Because just in the past 2 weeks, they got, what, like 3 million from the anniversary sale?
Yeah, 3 point something million or 4 million, I think.
It's that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. They have got to a point, as I was saying before, was that the development time on things is getting so much that a ship by now is going to cost more than $1 million to make. It's a lot more than $1 million to make. So if they say, okay, if we get the next stretch goal, we're going to do another ship, and they're burning through, like, I think they said $180,000 a month, or $80,000 a month, one of the two. A little bit of a difference, but they're burning through a whole lot of money in running the servers and services that we use to connect to the game.
Right, yeah.
So they're getting to the point where the main content of the game is not going to expand much by release time, or even a little bit after release. It's not going to expand much. We have effectively built that game. It's now actually down to the task of the programmers and everyone to properly build it, but we've effectively paid for that part. So any more money is going to go and help keep that running and get things a little bit tidier and make sure we have enough money to keep the main services up for years and years to come.
And just a little side question that you popped into my head with this comment of yours. Would you be willing to become a subscriber if it meant that would keep the servers up and running?
Not right now, because there is no game.
Well, yes. Let's say after 6 months or a year after the game is released, and then they say that because of such high monetary demands for the servers and everything else, that the money has run out, and they would require a monthly subscription to keep the game running. Would you be willing to do that?
Well, I guess I would have to see how the final game is, because until I do that, I don't know if I'm willing to pay for it. However,
it's a totally unfair question. Yes, if it was everything that you dreamed of, the game.
Yes, absolutely. Without question, I would do it in 1 second.
Yeah,
because there becomes this time factor where you invest money into the game that you want to play, because it keeps the game running. It's like this kind of self-perpetuating cycle where you get addicted to a game and you spend more money because you were addicted to it, which gives them more development time to make you more addicted. But it's this, if I'm earning money at my job and I want to do some after hours gaming or something, I want to put that money, the money that I have, the spare money, into a game that I really enjoy. And if I'm really enjoying that, I want to keep it going. I want to give them more money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If it is something that I would play daily, or even just maybe 2-3 times a week for an hour or two, and I would just, look forward to coming home and, just grabbing my joystick, starting it up. That I would definitely, consider doing that.
Yep, exactly. Exactly the same for me.
And this brings me on to just another point about this whole involvement, this emotional and psychological involvement in this game. 3 nights ago, I kind of had a dream about Star Citizen. I dreamt it. I live it, I breathe it, I eat it, and I dream it now.
Is this the point where you touch me, or is that something else?
Yes, I'm touching you. Well, it's it was something like I was in the Avenger. Why is all my Star Citizen experience regarding the Avenger? I mean, I don't love that shit that much.
Because you have a hard-on for the Avenger.
Oh, yes. It makes me feel all tingly in my naughty places. But I was in the Avenger and I was hunting down the Voyager 1 probe, which is quite an interesting aspect, if you can wrap your hand around it. I found it, and I got parked up right next to it, went into the cargo area, opened up the door, and then I EVA'd right next to it. And that got me thinking, how would that be? Because right now it's traveling about, several thousand kilometers a second away from the solar system.
I think we would need a mathematician to tell us its exact location in 700 years or something.
Yes, but this is not just about the Voyager. It's about also other celestial bodies like comets and asteroids, which they have said that we'll be able to visit and land on. And because right now, moving, in a spaceship is a bit weird because it's, let's take the Broken Moon map, for instance. You're in orbit around the planet, so you're traveling at whatever the orbital velocity at that orbit.
There is no orbital mechanics, and they haven't confirmed that for the game yet.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you're flying around, you have basically a top speed of 280, whatever the speed unit is. But what is that? Realistically, you should be able to just continue accelerating, and will that be in the final game when we have, really huge maps, huge instances that are basically just isolated pockets of space somewhere, traveling?
The answer to that question is most definitely no. Because they're not building a realistic simulator, they're building a game that we need to play.
I know. Yes, I know. But even, the game that we played a while ago, Independence War 2, that had such mechanics. You could go up to 9,999 kilometers a second, I think, is the
it's meters
speed
per
limit.
second.
Is it meter per second? Whatever, it's a lot faster than what Star Citizen offers right now.
Yeah, but different games.
I think I'm going to be really disappointed if they just limit the speed of your ship to 280 in, the universe.
They probably will.
Sublight speeds, and then you hit hyperspace and fly at whatever speeds you're going there. I think I will be slightly disappointed at that.
Well, that's probably how it's going to be anyway, so yeah. There's nothing we can really do about that.
I think I got too spoiled with Independence War 2.
Possibly,
yeah. But that was a purely single-player experience. And it's a lot easier to do that, I suppose.
Yeah.
And it was a lot simpler, smaller scale. Because, a space station was maybe like 10,000 polygons. Right now you have people that are over that. Models of a person that is over 10,000 polygons. It's just
ridiculous.
Wishful thinking, I suppose.
Indeed. Well, that's it for this episode of Fortnightly Frontier. Don't forget to click all the stuff below and like and subscribe and share with your friends and buddies and girlfriends and everyone, because we like that kind of thing.
And we will see you. Where?
In the verse.
In the verse.
Yeah.
Now watch me get this on the first take.
He's not going to get it on the first take.
I gotta stop smiling, damn it. Hello Internet, welcome to Fortnightly Frontier, the show that knows just as much about the best damn first-person universe ever, Star Citizen, as the media would have you believe. I am your host, Darionator, and over there in the first class, damn it! In first class, not the first class, fuck.
You were so close as well. He was so close.
The first class, what's wrong with me?
First up, we will have the Hyper News, where we give you a rundown of the latest news from the verse. Then he burped in my ear.
And just to make up for that, I'm gonna drink more of this carbonated water.
And have a beer. In the verse.
In the verse.
Ow! My elbow just cracked when I was doing the salute.